Hello, que pasa, and wagwan, y'all. It's Dimz. And today we are looking at a game called Blueblood Arena, or at least we are looking at the demo of a game called Blueblood Arena. Blueblood Arena is actually one of the fighting games I've been having my eye on for a while now, and I'm glad that they actually have something playable out, even though it's through a Patreon demo. Which, since it is a Patreon demo, their Patreon will be, on the video below if you want to go support them. I suggest that you do if you like what you see here. Also, my little support will be on the right-hand side if you want to do that as well. But anyway, let me actually introduce you to what Blueblood Arena is. Blueblood Arena is an indie fighting game, and a fighting game that you'll probably see more on my channel because I'm actually really excited for it. The creators are the same developers behind the people who made AmongUs Arena, which, if you didn't know, yes, someone actually went and took the AmongUs IP and decided to have fun with it and make a little fighting game. Obviously, you'll be able to download the AmongUs Arena for free and play, and it's actually pretty good at tournaments too. But they decided to make their own fighting game with that from the stepping stone of AmongUs Arena, and I'm actually excited for it. So far with Blueblood Arena, what they're taking is the AmongUs Arena framework, and then they're just making a different game with their own characters. Not everything is mechanically one-to-one, but basically they're just evolving the way that they use that engine, or that they use the mechanics that they set up in the rules to make their own fighting game, and it's actually pretty darn cool. As for right now, as of the demo, there's only 2 available characters, even though they have showed off a few characters via Patreon and via their social medias. But in the demo, you only get to play as 2 of them. One of them being a bird named Amber, and the other one being a bee named Enza. Now, I know nothing about these characters, like at all, but we're going to mostly focus on the game for right now. The game as it stands for right now is a one-on-one 4-button fighter, but we don't know what that will turn into later because clips have been shown that you can call assist, so it might be assist fighter or it might be a tag fighter. I'm not sure what method they're going to go, or they're just going to give you the options to make it either or. But for right now, all we have is a one-on-one fighter, so let me just talk about it. Now, because this game is early in development, I do not know the notation names, but judging by the debug menu in the training mode, you have light attacks, heavy attacks, special 1 attacks, and special 2 attacks. So just judging by that, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say A, B, C, or D. I'm just going to say light, heavy, special 1, and special 2. With a combination of a few of these buttons, it will give you access to your super move, it will give you access to your burst, and it will even give you access to your dash. Or you can assign those features to a separate button altogether. But that's why it's a 4-button fighter. You only need 4 buttons. Now, since this is an early demo version of this game, there's not too much to talk about. It doesn't go too deep, but at the same time, it is really loose. I love this game's combo system. It's really fun, and it just makes you just think, hey, if this could combo into this, then you can go into this from this, and just I've already spent 3 hours in the lab with just Amber alone, just doing combos, and I found out some really dirty stuff. And even this early in training mode, they have features like save states, which made my labbing time way more efficient. So they're already off to a good start. I think they already know what they're going to be doing with this game. But since it is so early in this game's life, there's a lot of things that aren't explained, like why does Amber take their own health when they use specials, and what is this goop that Enza shoots on the floor? What does it do? I noticed that when the opponent goes over it or tries to jump, they're limited, but there's no clear-coded instructions of how things work or what things are, because at this early at a point, they're just trying to make sure everything works. So I can definitely excuse that. So in the same vein of just making this game and making sure everything works, I want to give my feedback, like a good and a bad. So on the good end, I like how this game feels. It gives you so much freedom, especially when it comes to combos, where you can hit these things, you can link these things, you can connect these combos if you're quick enough and if you use the right order of operations. I love that in a fighting game. It kind of reminds me of AmongUs Arena because, hey, they're the ones who made that. Which leads to my one criticism of this game. This game looks like it would turn into a single player game really fast. What do I mean by that? Well, if you know what you're doing and you just got a few things down, your combos can be so long and take so much health of your opponent, it will basically turn this game into a 2-touch game. And honestly, I'm not too much of a fan of the one hit and you're dead games, kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or even AmongUs Arena. It basically turned itself into a 2-touch game because, hey, one touch would probably take away 50% of your health. I've seen these guys play and I played the game myself. It does get to that point where you are two touching people for each round. And already in this game, after 1 hour of lapping, I've already found combos that hit more than 50%, and I don't even have to use all my resources for it. So I already know that this would be on the way to turn into a two-touch game if it stays on track as it is. Granted, this game does have a feature to try to prevent that. Like, they have what I would like to call from Skullgirls the undizzy bar under your opponent's or under your health bar, where the higher this bar goes or the more you combo someone, the more damage scaling will be applied to your moves, and if it ever fills up, the opponent will get a burst and get out of the combo, and it will just end right there. I don't want this game to be a two-touch game because that is a real killer for a lot of people, especially when it comes into randomly playing fighting games. But at the end of the day, it is their game, and I'm just over here playing it. And I will continue playing it if I still like the way it's going, because I am very excited for this game, and I hope in the next time when we get another demo that the character I want to play, Dimitri, he comes out and he's playable, because I'm telling you right now, this game will be all over my channel and I will be one of the most notable Dimitri players in this game if everything pans out the way I like it. So with all that said, thank you for watching this video. If you want to know more about the game or even download it for yourself, go on their Patreon and support them. And if you like my coverage of this game, feel free to support me via the coffee link below. The rest of this video is just going to be me showing off the long combo notation of the combo that I learned with Amber. Enjoy and have a great one.